Good morning, students. I am teacher Nutan Karadekar from Father Agnel Technical High School, taking up science of your class. In science, we are going to do a new chapter today, that is our skeletal system. And the name of the chapter is lesson number 8, our skeletal system and skin. Now, see the picture shown on the screen. It is a picture of the human skeletal system. And they have already mentioned so many different parts of the skeletal system. You have it in your textbook on page number 59. You can see the parts shown on page 59. But for the time being, you can see this. The topmost part is the skin. Then you have the lower jaw, which is known as mandibular. And clavicle is the shoulder bone. You have humerus in the arms, ulna in the forearm, radius in the wrist, and these are the small bones of your hand, that is corpus, metacarpus, and phalanges. If you see this part as a cage, this is the rib cage. You know rib cage? What is situated in the rib cage? Yes, you have learnt in 5th standard. You have the respiratory system, that is your heart and your lungs, in the rib cage. Then you have the spine in the center, which is passing from directly from your neck till down till the pelvic bone. You have the pelvis, which is again one type of bone which protects your abdominal organs. Then you have the long bone of your body, that is the femur, which is the longest bone in the thigh. You have patella in the kneecap. You have tibia and the bones of the legs and bones of the toe and knee. This is also small bones like the corpus, metacarpus, and phalanges. And if you see the thorax here, it is here in the rib cage. The skull, the topmost portion is the skull. What is there in the skull? Which organ is there protected in the skull? Your brain. And what is the function of the brain? Now see the bones of the toes. If you can see this, there are phalanges near the toes. The next slide that you see on the screen is organs in human body. Now why I am showing you this organs in human body? Because you should know which are the main organs and how they are protected by the skeleton, by the bones. Okay. Now see the brain, where it is situated here, topmost part near in your skull. Okay. Then you have the liver. Just below this rib cage, you have the liver here. You have heart here in the center here towards the left side. Then you have stomach here. This kidney is situated here. And in the kidneys around there, you have the large intestine, and this is the small intestine. Now here they have shown joints, which joints are there at shoulder, wrist, elbow, knee, ankle, and muscle. So these are the joints shown here. Now what I want to tell you is this, what kind of diagram is this? This is the respiratory system. So it is here, exactly here, protected by the respiratory system is protected by the rib cage. Yes. Now let's move on to the next slide. The next slides here I have shown you functions of the organs. Now if you study, what is this? Brain. To control the organ of the body, coordination of the various systems in the body, the main function of this brain is to control everything in the body. Okay. So you can say mastermind of the whole structure. Yes. Then you have this. What is shown here? Heart. This is your heart. What is the main function of the heart? It helps in purifying the blood and transporting the blood to the various organs of the body. Now let us move on to the next slide. What is the next slide here? Now we are only concerned with the bones and the skeletal system. So I have taken a photo from your textbook. This shows the types of bones. If you can see your textbook, they have also shown you this picture there on page 58. There are 4 main types of bones. First type is the flat bones. You can see here flat bone. Okay, and they have shown you a picture of flat bones. Then where are these found? In the brain, in the heart, in the pelvic region, and in the cranium. Okay, then you have small bones. Now where are small bone found? What is this? Hand and wrist bones. They are the small bones, and the scientific name is radius, ulna, carpus and metacarpus, phalanges. Okay, there are different names for these parts of small bones. Then you have irregular bones. These bones are found in your vertebral column, in your vertebrae. It is also in the pelvis, and they often have fairly complex shape, irregular bones, and they are also found in the spinal cord and in the pelvic region. Then comes the last type of bone, that is long bones. Now long bones are hard and they are more dense, and they provide strength and structure and mobility to the thighs. Mobility means we move because of this thigh bone. This is the longest bone, thigh bone, which is called as femur. You will learn this in the textbook when you will read the textbook carefully. Now the next definition that we are going to learn in this chapter is what is the skeletal system? This is the main question asked. What is a skeletal system? So in short, I am going to define it. Here it is the definition. The system which gives a definite shape to the body, provides support and protect the delicate organs inside the body is the skeletal system. Now in your textbook, they have shown you some types of skeletal system of different organs, different animals, various animals. In your textbook, they have shown a cow and a dinosaur, a fish and a snake. But here I have shown you some other animals, because textbook thing you can see at home also. In this video, I want to show you the skeletal system of this frog. This is a monkey, and this is the skeletal system of the monkey. This is a cat, and this is the skeletal system of the cat. So you should, by the skeleton, you can understand which animal it is. Okay? And we should also be able to identify which animal it is. In your textbook on page 59, on the top part, can you identify the animals from the pictures of the skeleton? The first one is of a cow, the second one is a dinosaur, third one is a fish, and last is the snake. You can also search on the net for more information. Now I have shown you different kinds of bones here. A long bone which is fractured, and there are different kinds. This is a fracture. A kind of fracture means there is a crack in the bone. You can see, and this is the types of fracture. We are not going to go in detail of fracture, but we should understand how fractures are caused. Sometimes when we fall while playing or having an accident, a bone in our arm or leg may get broken. This is called a fracture of the bone. The fracture in a bone causes severe and unbearable pain, and the part with the broken bone swells immediately. So when you come to know that there is severe pain and you are unable to bear the pain and there is a swelling, then immediately you should go to the X-ray technician and get an X-ray, and go to a bone doctor and show him the X-ray. So after taking the advice of the doctor, you will come to know whether you have a fracture or no, or whether you require treatment or hospitalization for few days in the hospital. Now one more thing we should know, that after an accident, prevent any movement of the fractured part. Immobilize it, that means don't move that part, and get immediate medical help. After going to the hospital, an X-ray image is taken of the part which is swollen. X-ray was first discovered by William Corrad Roentgen. This name is there in the textbook on page 57. You can underline, you can come and fill in the blanks. Then on the next page in your textbook, they have shown a child with a fractured leg, and they have shown some plaster on his leg. So this helps us to understand that that part should be given proper rest. The next slide is the definition of the fracture. What is a fracture? A fracture is a break in the continuity of bone. Fracture is a break in any bone in the body. Then the next slide is types of joints. Now you know, in our body, when two or more bones are brought together, there is a joint. Joints are the places where two or more bones are connected with each other. Joints are of two types. You have it in the textbook on page 61. Open that page. There are two types of joints, movable joints and immovable joints. Now first kind of joint is immovable. Movable means you can move it. The joints help us to rotate our shoulder, bend our knees and elbows, and move our neck also. You can look to your left, you can look to your right. This all is because of the joints. One of the key characteristics of human beings or living organisms from the non-living ones is the ability to locomote or move. This is very important. We move, no? Non-living things cannot move. So this kind of joints are there shown in the textbook. First is hinge joint, second is ball and socket joint, and last is the gliding joint. Now the hinge joint, if you talk about hinge joint, this type of joint allow the movements of bones only in one direction. It moves in a 180 angle, example elbow and your knee joints. Now see your elbow and your knee. You can move in only one direction. You cannot fold your leg towards your stomach. No. So it is like the hinges of the window. Only one side it is opening. Ball and socket joint. In this type of joint, the bones can move in two or more directions in a 360 angle. It is found in shoulder and in hip joints. Now your shoulder, you can move it round, full round in 360. Yes, when you do exercises. And hip joint also, you can move your foot, full leg round when you do exercises. Now which is gliding joint? It is found in your hands and in your wrist, in your ankle also. In this type of joint, bones can only slide over each other. The next slide is about the different joints in the body. So that's all for today. I wish you all the best. Please like and subscribe my channel Nutan's Academy on YouTube, and stay indoors, be safe, take care of yourself and your family.